Imagine walking into a house that was built not to live in, but to survive in. A house so twisted, so endless, that every hallway feels like it's watching you. Doors that lead to brick walls, stairs that go nowhere, and a legend that says, if you stop building, you die. But what if the building never stopped? What if the spirits it was meant to trap never left? What really haunts the halls of the Winchester Mystery House? And why do so many who enter, leave, changed? This isn't just a story, it's a warning. And once you hear what's inside, you'll never look at an empty hallway the same way again. They say the Winchester Mystery House is just a mansion built by an eccentric woman. But if you ever find yourself inside, alone, with silence pressing against your ears and the walls creaking like whispers, you'll feel it. It's not just wood and nails. It's a living maze of fear and guilt. And once you step in, something ancient stirs awake. Sarah Winchester was the widow of William Winchester, the man whose family created the deadly Winchester rifle. After his death, Sarah became one of the richest women in America. But with her wealth came something else. Voices, whispers, shadows, faces in mirrors that weren't hers. She became convinced she was cursed, haunted by the spirits of those killed by the rifles her family sold. Desperate for peace, she consulted a medium who told her the only way to escape the spirits was to build a home for the dead, and never stop. So Sarah bought a small farmhouse in San Jose, California, and she began to build, day and night, for 38 years. The house grew into a monstrous maze, staircases that lead to nowhere, doors that open into brick walls, rooms stacked on top of rooms, hallways that go in circles. It wasn't meant to be lived in. It was meant to confuse, to mislead the spirits that hunted her. But what if they were never fooled? What if they were never outside, but already inside? Visitors have reported feelings they can't explain. Sudden chills in sealed rooms, whispers that come from the floorboards, the sensation of being followed, even when completely alone. Some swear they've seen Sarah herself, roaming the halls in black, her veil pulled low. Always walking, always building. One tour guide was found in tears after being locked in a room with no latch. He heard knocking on the walls, faint at first, then pounding like fists. When the door finally opened, no one was outside. Another worker followed a man who had strayed from the tour, only to watch him turn a corner and vanish. When he reached the spot, it was a dead end. A wall. No door. No way out. But he swears he heard breathing behind him. Even after Sarah died, the construction never really ended. Strange repairs continue. Tools move on their own. Footsteps echo in empty hallways. A caretaker once followed the sound of hammering to a sealed room that hadn't been opened in decades. Inside, there was fresh sawdust and a chair slowly rocking. He left the house that night and never returned. Skeptics try to explain it. They call it coincidence, old wood, drafty walls. But those who've been inside for long enough tell a different story. They say the house feels alive, that it changes. Doors appear where none were. Cold spots move. Shadows grow longer than they should. And sometimes the house whispers. Not just to anyone, it whispers your name. One visitor wandered off during a tour and wasn't found for over 2 hours. When they found him, he was curled up in a small, hidden room, rocking back and forth, eyes wide open, whispering, "They're watching me." He never said who. He never spoke of the house again. People believe the house was built to protect Sarah. But what if it was a prison? Not for the spirits, but for her. For her guilt. For the weight of so many deaths. What if the walls themselves are soaked with pain, echoing every shot fired from a Winchester rifle? Some believe there are rooms no one has found, that the house grows in silence, that it's still building, expanding, shifting, and that it remembers every soul that steps inside. Some leave, but some are drawn back, over and over, as if the house calls them by name, as if it's waiting for something. If you ever visit, and you find yourself alone in a hallway that doesn't seem to end, and you feel that chill brush the back of your neck, don't turn around. Don't listen to the whisper. Don't follow the footprints that suddenly appear before you. Because once the house chooses you, it never lets you go.